He's got excellent footwork that he really doesn't use that often. You know what I'm saying? He's the much more dynamic guy with footwork. He has a nice ass lead, straight right. I mean, he usually builds combinations off his straight right hand. You know what I'm saying? But the problem is, man, his style at heart is to fight from mid-range to inside distance, fam. And I think that's what's going to hurt him. I really believe, I'm going to go so far as to say this. I could be absolutely wrong. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to go so far as to say this. I feel that he's going to overimpose himself with that alpha male Philly shit. I feel like he's going to get caught and possibly dropped in this fight. I don't think he'll get knocked out. I think he can get caught because he's overimposing himself. Get dropped, get back up. He will look good in a lot of rounds because he's actually going to try to box. I think Bretman's going to tell him box, but I think his heart is going to take over. That's why I got Jermall Charlo winning. All right, YouTube, we back at it again. It's your boy 2K the God. My man Sess is not available for this video, but I do got two of my favorite guests. We got my man Kashad, and then I brought on my man Mál'akhî. He's all the way from Virginia for this segment. We're going to go ahead and break down more of the fights that happened December 10th. For this segment, we're going to start off with oh motherfucking man. Woo! Jermall Charlo versus Julian Williams. Now, I'm going to go ahead and toot my horn a little bit. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I was the lone goddamn ranger. Even on my damn show, fam, I had a guest. I had Ladarius Whetstone, man. He's a 140-pound prospect right now. He's 4-0 with 3 knockouts. I had him on the show. And even he, on my own goddamn show, went against my prediction. You know what I'm saying? And then on the podcast we do every Wednesdays, all of the panel, with the exception of me and Bernard, aka Mr. Fuckery, we are the only two that had Jermall Charlo. Now, I mentioned my reasoning. I actually picked Jermall Charlo months ago, even before our interview with Breadman, where Breadman was pretty much trying to tell us that J-Rock was one of the best fighters at 154, and there was a lot of things that J-Rock has not done in the ring yet that we will be privy to once he fights Jermall Charlo. I was saying that before that interview that Jermall is going to beat Julian Williams. Now, my biggest thing was this. The whole Philadelphia alpha male facade that pretty much a lot of Philly fighters they have. They thrive off of intimidation. You know what I'm saying? A Philly guy is comparable to a guy, the first motherfucker at a party that jumps up like, who the fuck said what? That's a Philly cat to me. You know what I'm saying? But Jermall Charlo is one of those alpha male types that's very confident in him being an alpha male no matter who the fuck he's going up against. And that's one thing you can't do against a guy with that type of confidence. I mean, even if you look in the weigh-in, he was looking at J-Rock like, I'm about to beat the shit out of this bitch, nigga. You know what I'm saying? That's how he was looking at J-Rock. You know what I'm saying? Like this smirk on his face and shit. Like, bro, you don't even know what's about to happen to you. You cannot, how do I say, bully a guy with that type of mentality. You have to beat that kind of guy with your IQ. And I've always said J-Rock does not have the IQ to beat Jermall Charlo. And the reason why I said that is because he does not utilize his superior movement enough in fights. I said he will actually stand there and pretty much not go anywhere when he throws combinations. He's just going to stand there. He's not going to move like he should because he actually admires his work. Like, yeah, bro, look what I just did to your bitch ass. I'm going to stand right here. I ain't going nowhere. And in all actuality, that's exactly what happened to him when he got knocked out. He threw a jab and a straight right, and Jermall Charlo caught that straight right on his left shoulder and came back and hit him with a counter uppercut. That's how he ultimately got knocked out. If he would have moved after throwing the straight right, well, Charlo wouldn't be able to time him with that fucking counter right uppercut. Same thing with the jab he hit him with when he knocked him down. J-Rock was standing right there. He wasn't going anywhere. Okay? And Charlo was like, all right, well, shit, I'm going to go first. Hit him with that stiff-ass Kovalev type jab that I mentioned before that he had. Okay? Bottom line, J-Rock needed to fight pretty much like Austin Trout did in order to beat Jermall Charlo. He had to use the jab, which he did. He used his jab. He used his jab up top and down low, like I said he needed to do. He needed to rain combinations and turn Jermall Charlo. He did do that certain points in the fight. He turned Jermall Charlo. But the biggest thing he did not do and what he neglected was using lateral movement and using the entire ring. I'm going to go to my man Mál'akhî first, man. I know you caught this fight. What did you think about this fight, man, and what did you see?
I'm going to be 100% honest. I was in the J-Rock camp, been in the J-Rock camp for quite a few months when it came to this fight. I did for Danger Zone Boxing Talk, I did my little J-Rock hype video. I was wrong. I underestimated Charlo's ring IQ. Like, I'm going to admit it now. I underestimated the things he can do in the ring. That catch and shoot that he did was pure pugilism. Beautiful, man. Absolutely beautiful. And I just did. I don't know. Maybe I just wasn't taking him serious enough, and I just wasn't seeing some things in his game. But last night he came with his A game, man, and I knew it was gonna be a long night when my man got knocked down with a jab. I was like, oh shit. When man just got knocked down with a jab, it's gonna be a long night. Yeah. But he recovered, man, and he had some moments in the fight where I thought maybe he gonna turn it around.
Moments Charlo, after the knockdown.
Yeah, he did, and I gotta give my hat off to Jermall. I get those two confused sometimes with their name, but he showed me something last night, man, and he definitely is one of the best 154-pounders out there. And if he does move on to 160, I think that he does have a skill set. I'm going to say this now, that I think he could give Triple G some issues.
Yes, I agree 100%. All right. Go to my man Kashad, man. What did you see in this fight, fam?
Man, first of all, Mál'akhî, that was some great insight you gave there. We already had a previous conversation about this. So I'm going to kind of just, rehash those points. I've been a fan of both these fighters. I got to say all three of these fighters. When you say Charlo, you talk about Jermall and Jamil in like a duo. But one thing I will say that a lot of people sleep on is Jermall is a dog, man. He'll beat the shit out of you, like, yep. You know what I'm saying? Like not on some, like, beautiful technical boxing. He'll get in there and wait. He'll patiently eat some of your punches to knock you the fuck out, like. And his style is tailored to go to 160. He can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was telling 2K that uppercut would have get out of your luck. The fuck. If you wouldn't have put him out, it would have put him on notice.
Yeah, that hurt him.
Like, that would have been at least a 3 or 4 round notice uppercut. It would kill Bush and get him off if Kell Brook could get him off his feet, that uppercut would have made him timid for 3 or 4 rounds.
Yep.
Like, no, that was a money punch if I'd ever seen one. Like, Jermall is very patient. Jamil has a tendency to rush, but Jermall, he's like a lion, man. He gonna wait for you to gallop out there the wrong way, and he gonna get you. And I'm gonna say kind of what J-Rock did wrong. He only uses the corner of the ring. he will use footwork, but he only uses a corner of the ring at a time.
Yeah.
By that I mean he'll circle, he throws good combinations, head to the body, but he'll circle and come right back. You know what I'm saying? And then, after a while, I feel like Jermall figured that out. Like you said, Philly fighters, they do have this bully mentality. Like, what can you do when you can't bully a fighter? That's what he came to. Like, Hank Lundy has come to that a few times.
Yep.
Jeffy Hart, they came to that a few times.
Yep.
And really, Danny Garcia as well. J-Rock just couldn't bully this man. And Jermall found out that right hand didn't have enough mustard on it. And he was like, all right, I'm gonna take a few of these sandwiches, and I'm gonna give you something, boy. I'm gonna give you something to eat.
Yeah.
Like and that's what happened when that jab put him down. That's the difference between Andre Ward and J-Rock. And that's not to say J-Rock is a bad fighter. Andre Ward knew to use the whole ring.
Good point.
J-Rock kept doing exactly what he was doing.
Absolutely.
And I mean, he was having success, but at some point you gotta know that your right hand ain't have enough mustard on it.
Yep.
Like you have to slow that man down another way. And Breadman said something from the corner. He was like, if you give him to the body, he gonna come right back to it. And it was like, that was very pompous to say that because, I mean, he really wasn't going for that man's body. He was really trying to knock him the fuck out the whole fight. Like, who were you psyching out by saying that? He was never going for the body. Like, Jermall had a game plan, and shout out to Ronnie Shields. I met him. He's a great trainer. He had a great game plan, and it was never to wear Julian down.
Mm-hmm.
It was to get him out of there.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like you said it the way he was looking at that dude like, this is not gonna be what y'all think it is. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, he's a great fighter. Like Jermall had a moment at the end of the fight where he didn't want to show no props. And I told you, 2K, I understand that. Like, everybody been hating on this dude like he ain't the champion. Like, he didn't spark Burgess out. Like, he didn't spark his defenders out.
Yeah.
And now he just sparked J-Rock out. It was like, now everybody wants to hop off the J-Rock bandwagon. And you shouldn't. Like,
No,
he just got sparked out by a better fighter.
Yeah, absolutely. See, one thing I want people to remember about J-Rock, J-Rock is doing what a lot of these bitch-ass fighters out there are not doing, and he's seeking to fight the best, okay? Remember, he called out Jermall Charlo as soon as he realized that he was actually ranked high enough to fight Jermall, okay? He was already, I believe he was high enough to ranked high enough to fight Jermall. You know what I'm saying? But Jermall is not the better of the two brothers. It's Jermall. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, shit, I want Jermall, and I want Austin Trout. Austin Trout had way more experience than J-Rock. Shit, in all honesty, J-Rock should have been like, damn, dog. If when asked, shit, I ain't trying to fight Austin Trout just yet. He really only lost to Canelo and Erislandy Lara. He's a beast in the division. If he was a bitch-ass nigga, that's what he would have said, okay? But instead, he has the correct fighter's mentality, and he went in there, and he fought one of the best. I cannot say the same for a lot of different fighters out there. I won't name names except one because this pertains to this story, but Jermall Charlo and Jermall both publicly, on camera, called out Canelo Alvarez. Now, do we really believe, people, that Canelo will take the Jermall Charlo challenge after the way he just murked J-Rock? How do y'all feel about that? I'm going to go to Mál'akhî first.
That's an excellent question. I like Canelo. I like Canelo. I'm still one of the few people who actually like him, I think, join these groups.
He's a good fighter.
But the question to me always was, okay, Canelo's money over risk. That's the way he is. I mean, that's the camp he's in. If it don't make dollars to them, it don't make sense.
Absolutely.
But you have to ask now with what he just did to J-Rock, you know what I mean? Is the money going to be there? And then they're going to look at it like, man, that's a really high-risk fight. And can we get the money that we feel is necessary? So I don't know. It depends if he wants to stay at 154, man. You look around at the champions, man. There's some pretty good champions there. So he might be looking to go back to 160 and get the hell out of that. So I'm not sure that fight happens, man.
That's actually what he said. He said he's gonna vacate. Me and Kashad talked about that a little bit off camera, off the record. But he did mention that he wants to vacate the WBO title, and actually he would have to, especially when he's looking at trying to fight Billy Hope Sanders, aka the Peanut Butter Hand Man, next. You know what I'm saying? So if he does fight him, well then based on the WBO rules, he would have to vacate at 154. Kashad, how do you feel about that question I asked, man?
Canelo, Charlo.
Yeah, do you think he'll take that fight?
I think what's crazy, I think I gotta go against what Malachi said. I don't think Canelo is risk versus reward. I think De La Hoya is risk versus reward.
Good point.
I think Canelo will get in there. He's proven that he'll get in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, he will get in there. And I feel like Jermall versus Canelo is stylistically a great fight.
Yeah.
I think he'll put I'll put it like this. De La Hoya will put Canelo in there before he'll put him in there with Jermall before he'll put him in there with Demetrius Andrade or Lara again.
Hell yeah.
Because he knows that they will move around and beat their ass and buy shots. You know what I'm saying? They would exploit it. Like Jermall is one of those old school fighters that, I mean, Jermall will outbox you, but Jermall trying to spark you out the whole fight. Like, when he just fought Charlo before this, right? Was that him or his
That
brother?
was Jermall,
Jermall fought Charlo. Like, the fact that he sparked, he didn't spark him out, but he was able to outbox him, which it showed a lot about his IQ and just being in the ring and holding his own. Like, I think Lara would be a bad matchup for Jermall, but of course they share the same trainer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think Canelo and Jermall will be a great fight. I think it could happen. Will it? No, because Canelo has, I mean, just being honest, De La Hoya has a Cotto rematch he can put Canelo in there with.
Yeah.
He can finally give the fans what they want with Gennady. He can give them Billy Ho and get paid over here in the UK. He can fight, the sky's the limit. Dude can fight whoever the fuck he wants.
Yeah.
Make money. Just being honest.
Yep.
So he just fought Liam B.C. Smith. Somebody we didn't know.
Yeah.
So,
well, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
With Canelo isn't afraid to fight anybody. In fact, I've said that on several posts and even in some of the videos that I've been on. The thing I have with that, though, is when Canelo wants to fight you, he had to go and get the Lora fight himself because De La Hoya advised him for a while that wasn't a good fight for him. He had to do the same thing with Floyd Mayweather.
Yep.
Right? He both times they always like, it's not a good fight for you. He wanted those fights, so he went and got those fights.
Yep.
I don't know if he wants this fight enough to go to De La Hoya, and even if De La Hoya says this isn't a good fight for you, to say, nah, this is my career, I'm taking this fight. You know what I mean? That's my only thing with that.
I think after the Arislandi Lara fight, he kind of let De La Hoya handle his career exclusively after that. If you look at a lot of his opponents after that and some of the people that he was talking about fighting, I mean, he fought garbage-ass James Kirkland, who is getting ready to fight Cotto next year. I can't
believe that shit.
Yeah, and in the midst of that fight, he was actually going to fight Joshua Clottey, but that fight fell through. And that was the Clottey that had just beat Anthony Mundine. Then he went on to, fight, I think, Alfredo Angulo. Then you got Liam Smith. So, and Miguel Cotto. Miguel Cotto was a good fight. That was a good fight for him. But it was one me personally.
To end my point, 2K, let me go to this. To end my point, like, I don't feel like De La Hoya will say Jermall is a bad fight for him because Jermall ain't gonna go nowhere like that. He can, but he's not.
Too risky.
Like even it's too risky. That's the style that Taylor's right to Canelo's hand. Like I would favor Jermall in that fight, and it would be a really really good fight. It would be like a close to call fight, but I'm gonna be honest, like. I don't think De La Hoya would look at that fight the same way he would look at the Demetrius Andrade, Anderson the Lion fight.
No.
Because he's not giving him that. The thing we have to worry about is getting sparked out, getting the lights cut out.
This is the thing. De La Hoya is essentially using the same blueprint for his fighter's career that K2 is using for Triple G. And that blueprint is that he has the fan base. He has the type of fan base that will never go anywhere. It's kind of like residual income that keeps coming no matter what. That's what his fan base is like, right? So you could put, it's actually better than Triple G's actually, but you could put Canelo in a ring with motherfucking, Stuart Scott, rest in peace, by the way. Put him in a ring with him, and he's still going to sell $300K. They have this blueprint to where he doesn't have to take the major risks in order to make the major money. That's why you won't see him take these type of fights, fam. It's not even about how De La Hoya actually views him as far as stylistically. It is a risk that Jermall Charlo is too big of a puncher. He just showed that he actually has possibly an elite level IQ based on that goddamn catch and counter, okay? And he's an undefeated hungry lion. It's too much of a risk. If Canelo gets beat, right, by Jermall Charlo, somebody who's not as popular as a Floyd Mayweather, the type of defeat that you can actually overcome just because it's Floyd Mayweather, and then on top of that, if he gets knocked out by a Jermall Charlo, Canelo's career is damn near over, fam. And it's basically because a lot of people already feel that he's overrated anyway. You see what I'm saying?
Hell nah. There's plenty of Mexican legends got their ass whooped and still became like it's because of that ethnicity, just that trademark to the sport.
Yeah.
I feel like as long as he goes out on his shield and it's a war, he could always bounce back the next year.
I mean,
if he loses to Charlo, there goes his A side in negotiations against Triple G in the future. You know what I mean? Right now, he clearly has an A side.
If Triple G loses to Danny Jacobs, there goes his B side right there. I mean, it's possible.
I mean, like, hey, Danny Jacobs is a good inside fighter, man. So, I don't know. I'm just worried about his chin against Triple G.
Yeah. I was just about to say the last dude he fought put him down. So.
Exactly.
and around the year caliber fight.
Yeah.
That was terrible. Yeah. Terrible outing.
All right, fam. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. I'm just gonna conclude that congratulations to Jermall Charlo. I really don't care about what he did after the fight. I like that in fighters. I like the overconfidence. The ability to basically say, hey, fuck everybody, I'm me. Hey, I like this shit. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Congratulations to him on a knockout win, and congratulations to J-Rock. You know what I'm saying, for him actually seeking that type of fight and getting in the ring with a very risky challenge. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. That's gonna be Joseph Parker versus Andy Ruiz for the vacant WBO title. Now this fight right here, man, there is a lot of controversy swirling around this fight. A lot of people were like, nah, fuck that. Andy Ruiz won. Nah. Once again, I told you guys in the fucking prediction video, I said there's no way Andy Ruiz comes back to America with the WBO title off of a decision win. He would have to knock Joseph Parker out. Now, a lot of people were like, no, fam, nah. It is in New Zealand, you're right. It is in Joseph Parker's backyard, but the judges are neutral. That doesn't matter. the actual both promoters of both fighters, they agree on the judges. Okay, but that tells you right there that Joseph Parker's side was like, yeah, those judges are fine for a reason. You know what I'm saying? They either felt that, hey, given a close fight, they're gonna give the fight to my guy, or they knew that the judges would give the fight to their guy no matter what. There's an incentive for why they would agree on those three guys to be the judges. Okay, so them being neutral has nothing to do with it. It's the fact that he's in the it's the location of where the fight's at, the popularity of the fighter, and who he is fighting. Andy Ruiz is not a popular heavyweight. Joseph Parker is a much farther popular heavyweight than Andy Ruiz is. Okay, I mean, he's the next guy that people think will actually beat Anthony Joshua. I highly disagree with that shit, but motherfuckers are actually saying that. You know what I'm saying? So you can't get mad at the decision because I already told you what happened. If it's close, he's gonna win the fight. Kashad, man, how did you see this fight, fam?
Man, before I even get into this, who do you think won this fight?
Man, look, I scored it very
Give me
close.
the name, man.
I scored it very close.
Name, man.
I had Joseph Parker by 2 points.
Okay.
How'd you have it?
In scoring terms, in terms of scoring, I had Joseph Parker winning.
Yeah.
But in terms of just like winning and being the WBO champion, neither of these guys won because they are just fodder waiting to get ate up, man.
Oh, they're gonna get
like,
killed.
They are nothing to Deontay and Joshua and Klitschko if you want that belt back. Ortiz, like I saw the HBO commentary, which was kind of terrible. It was just Roy Jones like tuning all damn horn the whole damn time. But Joseph Parker does look a lot like Roy Jones in that he leaves his left hand down, but that's just so stupid that he doesn't pull directly back. He kind of pulls back at an angle to kind of evade punches, but he's only 6'4". Andy Ruiz was a fat ass heavyweight. He's losing weight. I don't care what nobody say. He's not technical enough to be that fat. Like, no.
The funny part about what you're saying is I was actually up. I was up at 2 o'clock in the morning my time watching the fight, and my wife came out and shit, and she saw Andy Ruiz, and she was like, "Ew, he's fat."
Dude just he clearly had stamina issues.
Yeah.
And, Joseph Parker clearly could have put him out to the body. Anybody could put him out to the body. Sweet in the gut.
Yeah.
But a lot of these heavyweights ain't throwing those punches. It could be because they're so damn tall. That could be one thing. But I don't think either of these guys won. Like Andy Ruiz can hang his head high and then he lost his, a decision for a belt, but he'll probably get another shot at it, being that he's with HBO and Top Rank. He'll get another shot at it.
Yeah.
But it really doesn't matter. I don't think he'll beat Joseph Parker. If he keeps showing up that fat, he's always going to lose the same way. But Joseph Parker didn't really show the world shit
Absolutely.
in that fight. Shout out to New Zealand. This is the first heavyweight champion they've ever had. Kudos to them. He'll go down in the history books of his country. He'll always be remembered, but he's going to be remembered for that ass whooping he's going to get. If he get in there with Deontay and Anthony, too. He's going to be a name on their resume.
Yup.
He's just holding that belt until one of them lions get to him.
Yup. Exactly. Enjoy that shit while it lasts in New Zealand. They talking about his next opponent being Hughie Fury. Which I think
no, please.
Yeah, I know. I think that caliber of fighter is good for him for his first title defense because he's gonna get murdered by any of the other guys in the division. And I think let me say this: if he would go, because he's WBO champion, right? If he would go to fight another champion in the division, let's say he beats Hughie Fury, he would have to fight the winner of I can't even say because recently Luis Ortiz It's been said that Luis Ortiz will fight Shannon Briggs for the WBO regular title since he just got past David Allen this past weekend. Before it was supposed to be Shannon Briggs versus Frez Oquendo. Now, if that fight would have happened, Shannon Briggs and Frez Oquendo, I'd have been like, hey, bro, if I was in Parker's camp, I'd be like, hey, dog, hey, let's get that winner of Frez Oquendo, Shannon Briggs. You might be able to beat one of them niggas. But if you try to fight Luis Ortiz, motherfucking Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, you're going to get sparked, fam, within 5-6 rounds. Dude has absolutely no defense. I mean, his defense is his offense, fam. I mean, he's got excellent. Yeah, he's got excellent hand speed. He's got some pretty good footwork for a heavyweight. He another heavyweight that moves like that, just right off the top is David Haye. But fam, dog, like if he gets cornered or if he gets his back up against the ropes, which is what was happening against Andy Ruiz, you can land pretty much anything you want on the guy. So, also the Carlos Takam fight, man, that fight said a lot for me. Way before this fight, that Joseph Parker is not ready for Anthony Joshua. He looked terrible against Carlos Takam, and this fight was very reminiscent of that fight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he almost got knocked out in that fight. Dude,
I had Carlos Takam. I had Takam winning, Mál'akhî. I had Takam winning the fight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of motherfuckers came on, oh, you don't know shit about boxing. Motherfucker, go back and watch the fight, dude. Carlos Takam did enough to win that fight. You know what I'm saying? Just like Andy Ruiz did enough to win this fight, even though I had Parker winning it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man.
Neither one of them fools did enough to win this fight because it really don't mean nothing.
Yeah.
It means nothing to the division because they just holding this belt until the dust settles with these unifications. They just hold this belt. Like, I mean, it's great for the division to have all these names and shit, but somebody can unify, and they're going to unify fast. Because neither one of them they don't hold a candle to any of these other fighters.
Yeah, I agree, and I'll quote Tyson Fury. He recently said that ever since he vacated, all these bums have become champions. Hey, might have some truth to that statement. All right, let's go to the next one, and this will be the final of this segment. Another good fight. It was actually the main event of the Jermall Charlo, Julian J. Rock Williams fight card. We had Abner MARES versus Jesus Cuellar. Cuellar was the WBA 126-pound champion. Man, that fight right there, I'm going to just say this, man. That fight right there just brought me all the way back to 4 years ago when I watched Abner MARES completely dominate my dude Anselmo Moreno. Bro, I was in the streets. You know what I'm saying? I was in the streets. Like, yo, y'all niggas ain't never heard of Anselmo Moreno? Oh, fam. Yo, Mayweather, nigga. Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? I was really high on Anselmo Moreno. Like, man, dog, I really liked him. So when he went in there and fought Abner MARES, I had put money on Anselmo Moreno. I think I had just started betting at the time. I put money on Moreno. And I was like, yo, he gonna take this dude's head off, man. Yeah. Too much defense, fam. He got that shoulder roll, fam. I didn't realize that Moreno does not have very good movement, dog. And he stands with a very wide stance. I didn't realize that. And MARES went in there and outboxed the shit out of Anselmo Moreno and even dropped him. And that's exactly what he did against Jesus Cuellar. I said in my prediction video, this is the only fight I got wrong this week on my prediction videos. I said I got all of them right except this fight. And the reason why I picked Cuellar is because I felt that Abner MARES was pretty much a shot fighter, just pretty much like a lot of people did. He has not looked very good since losing to Johnny Gonzalez. Okay. And then going to Robert Garcia, I consider Robert Garcia a better trainer than a lot of these trainers out there. But he's one of those trainers that doesn't really introduce new shit into your fight style in order to make you become a different fighter. He did implement the jab for Marcos Maidana, but in reality, Marcos Maidana always had a jab. He just didn't use it. Robert Garcia made him use the jab more. But dog, this motherfucker just completely turned Mares back into his old self. Like basically just made this motherfucker do a 180. You know what I'm saying? So it was an excellent fight. He was boxing from the outside. He was using lateral movement. He was killing Cuellar with that straight right hand, fam. Anything Cuellar would try to do, Mares would throw the jab out there, stop his offensive attack. He was turning Cuellar. He was using excellent upper body movement. Cuellar was throwing combinations. Mares was moving his head. I mean, there was one exchange, dog. Mares had his back up against the ropes, and Cuellar came in, was like, yeah. This is barbecue chicken right here. I'm about to take this motherfucker out. He on the ropes. He came in. He's throwing combinations. Motherfucking Mares is like, dodged all of them. Dodged all of them with his hands down, and then turned Cuellar and backed up into the middle of the ring. Dude, just, I don't know, man. Totally different Abner Mares. Now, before I turn over to my man Kashad, there was some controversy in this fight. The way I just described it sounded like Abner Mares dominated this fight, right? And he absolutely did dominate. He even dropped Jesus Cuellar one time. Or I think he might drop him twice. I don't remember. But he did drop him, right? One judge by the name of Kermit Bayless, I want y'all to know who the fuck he is. Because we need to petition to get this motherfucker out of here. You know what I'm saying? One judge gave the fight to Jesus Cuellar 115, 112. If you take away the knockdown, that means he thought Cuellar cruised to victory. Bro, this was an easy win, an easy fight for Abner Mares. I only gave Cuellar 3 rounds, and that's a stretch. You know what I'm saying? But one judge actually gave the fight to Cuellar. Kashad, man, how'd you feel about this, man?
I think Abner Mares is a prime example of, what is he, a 3-division titleist? Yeah, I think he climbed 3 weight classes, right?
I believe so. I gotta look that up.
Without looking it up, I'm almost positive it's 3. Because there was a time when he was on the pound for pound, he was on the rings pound for pound list, like number 10.
Yeah.
Like before he had all his facial hair, he looked like a demon, a Spanish devil or something. So,
Diablo.
Abner Mares, yeah. Abner Mares, he did what he had to do. I think that judge just needs to be out of the box, and I concur with that. I think he dominated. I didn't think he was way past his prime. I think the fight he lost, other than Johnny Gonzalez catching him cold, a lot of fighters got caught cold. I think Abner Mares, one thing I don't like about him is he blames his trainers every time he gets sparked the fuck out. It ain't Virgil's fault. He lost to Yosef Cruz. It wasn't well, I think it was his dad or whatever fault when he got sparked out to Gonzalez. Like, going to Garcia and getting his win, he's probably going to do his hard and stuff. And I think Garcia is a great trainer, but I think he's way too comfortable and casual and cool with his fighters. And that could be because I see too much of them with every setback and stuff like that, and all over the internet, and they got their own channel. Mikey Garcia is their brother. But I think he's just way too calm with his fighters. So they win one fight, you know what I'm saying, that they should have won, you know what I'm saying, because of their natural ability. And then they, you know, get comfortable and get lax, and then they lose. So, I mean, he did what he's supposed to do. It was a real entertaining fight. I will say that this fight, Terrence Crawford fighting John Molina, that fight got more of my attention.
Yeah.
The Mares Cuellar fight was like 2 rounds ahead of that fight. And I was just watching one on my computer and the other one on my TV. Mares, he's as high as he can go in weight classes. So I don't know where he's gonna go. He's gonna chase another Leo Santa Cruz fight, or does he want Crampton or something like that? Like where does Mares go from here? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, they talking about. I mean, he called out pretty much every fighter at 126, all the champions. You got Carl Frampton, Russell, Gary Russell. You got Oscar Valdez. I mean, he's saying he want to fight any one of them. I personally, I'd like to see him fight Carl Frampton, and Gary Russell. Honestly, based on this performance, if he can continue doing what he was doing, those two are excellent fights. Oscar Valdez, stylistically,
Abram not letting Valdez out. He not letting him out to play with the big boys yet. Hey, Lomachenko at 126.
Yeah, Lomachenko's at 130.
He's 130.
He went to 130. Yeah, but Abram not letting Valdez. He's not letting him play with the big boys yet.
That's why I
He
mentioned.
got that WBO belt. He's cozy with it. Now Gary Russell will beat the shit out of Abner Mares.
I think so too.
I think so too.
Showed up. Yeah, Abner Mares just showed up and beat Cuellar. Will get his ass whooped every day the rest of his life by Gary Russell.
Even the Abner Mares showed up against Leo Santa Cruz, ain't got a chance.
Nah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I thought
Leo Santa Cruz ain't got a chance.
No, I think Cruz loses to Russell as well. I need to see Gary Russell in there with Carl Frampton. I need to see him get his rematch with Lomachenko, man. I feel like he's.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, I feel like he's changed a lot of flaws that he had in his style since the Lomachenko fight, and he's been doing a lot of different things to better himself. Also, he's more focused. I think back then a lot of niggas was tooting his horn and blowing his skirt up and shit because he had fast ass hands that he didn't really take challenges too seriously, man. And now that he done got his ass whooped, he's a more serious, focused fighter. I need to see him in there with Lomachenko on a rematch, man. Definitely. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and conclude this segment right here, man. I want to thank my man Kashad for jumping in, and I also want to thank my man Mál'akhî from Danger Zone Boxing Talk. YouTube, do what you're doing in the comment section. Be real. Let us know what you thought about these fights. This is real talk for real fans. 1.